So you might have heard this, that international students in America who are on student visa, which is F1 visa, cannot work during the program. But there are a couple ways that you can work legally. Obviously, we don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything illegal. But legally, you can work when you are on student visa during the program. Let's dive in. Hey, before we're gonna get into today's topic, I just want to mention that we are giving out free online lesson. It's about time management. We all are very busy every day, but we want to make sure that we have time to take care of ourselves. Because when we are too stressed out, then we can't really take care of other people, patients, or even our loved ones. So it's very important to take care of ourselves. But I think the problem is we don't have time. But in this lesson, I'm going to talk about 7 secrets to make time for things you love so you can rejuvenate and be a better person, better nurse practitioner, better healthcare professional. How to access this online lesson is you can go to usa.jnpproject.com/free lesson. Again, usa.jnpproject.com/free lesson. And you can get access to this free lesson. All right, let's get back to today's topic. So most of international students come to the United States with F1 visa, which is a student visa. And having a student visa doesn't give you permission to work in the United States. So, you save up money before you move to United States to attend a program or university, grad school. But unfortunately, you just have to use up your saved money during the program if you don't work, because you can't work. But there are a couple ways that you can have some work experience with or without pay during the program. So this is called CPT and OPT. If you are trying to become a nurse practitioner in the United States like me, going to nurse practitioner program or even RN to BSN program, I would recommend to use these system, because not only that you have a little bit of income, not a lot, but a little bit of income, but this will be a great opportunity to have work experience in the United States, and then also make connections so that when you're actually looking for a job to stay in the United States permanently, you feel more confident, and then also you can write down those experiences on the resume so you look better and you get a job that you dreamed of. So, like I said, there are 2 programs that you can allow you to work in the United States while you're on student visa. So first one is called CPT. CPT stands for Curricular Practice Training. So this is basically internship during school. So you cannot just get any jobs. Like as a nurse practitioner student, you cannot just work at a restaurant or a tour guide company and stuff like that, because the job, the training, because this is considered internship, so that and part of the curricula, so it has to be directly related to what you're studying at the university or grad school. So it has to be directly related to your major area of study. So for me, because I was a nurse, RN to BSN student, and then also the nurse practitioner student. So let's say, when I was a nurse practitioner program, I worked at a registered nurse at a Japanese clinic in Honolulu, because doing the internship there taught me how US healthcare system works, how the insurance system works, how outpatient care works, because as family nurse practitioner, majority of us work at outpatient facility. So it was the job was directly related to my study, my major. So it did make sense, and they approved my CPT, the application, and then I was able to work. This is not just a regular job. Like I said, this is more like an internship, and could be paid or without pay, but I got paid. So it's like a job, but it's paid internship. And this is part of the school's established curriculum. So I had to pay tuition to take this course, the internship course. And then I also had to report to school what I learned during this internship. And then I get grade. I think it was just pass or fail. It wasn't like grade like ABC, D, F, kind of thing. But I had I was graded by pass or fail, had to submit some paper about the experience. So it is still considered as a regular class. You pay tuition, but it's a paid internship, so you get some income through the paid internship. But the income is not the greatest, because if you want to do OPT, which I'm going to talk about in a second or in a minute, if you want to do OPT after you graduate from the program, you cannot work more than 20 hours per week for using CPT. So because I wanted to have opportunity to work after I graduate, I was working, the maximum of 20 hours per week using CPT. So the income is very limited. I wasn't working full time, and I still paid tuition to be able to do the paid internship. So, it's not like all the income minus you have to pay tuition. So it wasn't really a good deal in terms of the income or economy, but it was great to learn. Like I said, American healthcare system, things are so different from what I'm used to, like what I learned in Japan. The health insurance system is so different. And then I learned how to deliver care in outpatient facility. I made a lot of connections working at the outpatient facility. So it was still great. So when you get a chance, I would definitely recommend to do the CPT as much as you can as a nurse practitioner student, or even RN to BSN student. And so there's a little limitation also, that you have to enroll on full-time basis for at least one academic year before you can do CPT. So when I was in RN to BSN program, I didn't do the CPT, and I just did OPT after I finished the RN to BSN program. And then when I was in master's family nurse practitioner program, I was able to do CPT within a year, because there is an exception for graduate student who can start training earlier. So I was able to start training earlier than 1 year, because there is some exceptions for graduate students. So now let's talk about the OPT. So OPT stands for optional practical training. So this is also very similar to CPT. The training has to be directly related to your major of study, and student. But for the couple difference is, for CPT, if you want to apply CPT, hey, I want to do the internship, you have to first secure your where you can do the internship first. So you have to have a job offer before you apply for CPT. But for OPT, you can get the OPT first, and then you can then start looking for a job. But I would definitely recommend to start looking for a job before the OPT starts, because OPT is limited to only 1 year after you graduate. So you don't want to you only have 1 year to look for the job, and then also hopefully the employer sees good in you and say, hey, I don't want to lose you after you finish OPT. So I want to offer you to help you to get work visa or permanent residency, which is also known as green card, so that you can stay. But you need to, find a job as soon as possible, preferably before you start OPT, because like I said, OPT is only 1 year. Regardless of within 1 year, you're sitting around and not doing anything, or you start working on the first day of OPT, or you might just start working on the 9th month into the OPT, and you only have 3 months to actually work. So, and I've seen people who are unprepared for the OPT, and they graduate, and then just all of a sudden they start panicking, like, oh, I have to look for a job. But it's not easy to find a job. You have to go through so many process to be able to actually start working. So if it's been already months and months since your OPT started and you finally get a job, your employer may say, well, it looks like you only can stay in the United States for 3 months. Why would we spend our energy and time to train you, even though we know that you're gonna just go back to your home country? So really, really important to learn about CPT and OPT beforehand, so you can fully utilize the system that allow international students to work in the United States. So how can you get a little bit more information about these? Well, definitely recommend to talk to academic advisor at your universities. When I was preparing for this episode, I was checking my emails that I sent to my old academic advisor. I sent so many emails. I met up with the advisor so many times because there's a lot of paperwork I have to go through. There's a lot of questions I didn't know because it's a federal law, so you have to abide with laws. Make sure you're processing the application correctly. So make sure to ask your academics advisor about these things, and don't wait until you graduate and then start asking questions about OPT. That would be too late. You want to make sure you ask that about OPT, maybe the last year of school. Say, hey, how does that work? So that when you're looking for a job, you yourself can explain how OPT works to your employer. Say, OPT, I can work for 1 year, and this is the paperwork. If you decide to hire me or allow me to do a paid internship, this is the way to do. So you don't want to wait until actually graduate from your program. So, and also for CPT, you have option to work even when you're in the school. And it's very important to work so when you're in the nurse practitioner program, I would recommend to either work, as a medical assistant or registered nurse, or even a medical receptionist, to work in the medical facility in the United States, so you know how this teamwork works, how the healthcare works, how insurance system is in the United States. It will be very, very helpful to learn about how these things work before you actually become a nurse practitioner and expected to work as a nurse practitioner, because they're not gonna make things easy just because you grew up outside the United States or born outside the United States. You are expected to work as well as American nurse practitioners who was born and raised in the United States. So definitely utilize CPT and OPT and talk to your academic advisor about these and get more information. Make sure, prepare those paperwork as early as possible. I hope this was helpful if you are in a nurse practitioner program or in RN to BSN program, or even if you are preparing to come to United States to study. This sounds a lot, but it's okay. I was overwhelmed as well. But these informations are so helpful. I wish somebody taught me back then. I had it to figure out one by one, but my academic advisor was wonderful. So, I got some help, but make sure to utilize these opportunities so you can make your dream come true in the United States. All right, I'll see you in the next episode. Aloha.